With Riz accompanying him, Fleo placed a barrier around the house so he would know if any demons approached. Riz greatly approved of what Fleo did because, if Uliminas came, Riz would be ready to drive her away herself. Riz was also impressed with Fleo for being so kind, despite being attacked by such a large force. After finishing, Riz invited Fleo to go home. In the yard, Blossom was still amazed and kept looking at her status. Balarasa and the others also looked at it. Blossom couldn't believe she had received the title of Dragon Slayer. Balarasa then started to leave. When asked where she was going, she said she wanted to hunt her share of magic beasts. The others admired Balirasa's discipline, especially since she could defeat a C-rank magic beast on her own. When she reached the edge of the forest, Balirasa was seen crying. It turned out she also really wanted to get the Dragon Slayer title like Blossom. The Dragon Slayer title is very rare and coveted by all adventurers. Balirasa wondered if she got the Dragon Slayer title, she could receive a noble title, just like when her father became a knight, and live in the capital with everyone, not just dreaming about it. While Balirasa was crying alone, someone suddenly approached her. A tall, large man asked about an acquaintance of his who was said to live around there. Balirasa didn't know who the man was, but she saw that he came from the forest full of magic beasts with very minimal equipment. Balirasa then replied that she might know the person the man meant, Fleo or his wife. The man then said his acquaintance was Fleo's wife. Balirasa concluded that the man was from the Demon Lord's army and drew her sword at him. Balirasa threatened to fight the man if he did anything bad to Riz, who was no longer part of the Demon Lord's faction. The man admitted that he was from the Demon Lord's army, but he had no bad intentions and just wanted to check the situation. He then said goodbye to go home. Balirasa sheathed her sword, thinking the matter was over. As he was leaving, the man left a message for Fenris, "Let's have tea sometime and reminisce about the past." Balirasa agreed to pass on the message. She then introduced herself to the man and asked his name. The man said his name was Gazaru. Not long after, Fleo and Riz ran towards Balirasa. Fleo was worried about Balirasa's condition. Balirasa said that a man from the Demon Lord's army had indeed come there and met her. He claimed his name was Gazaru. Hearing that name, Riz knew who the man really was and said he used a very bad alias. Fleo then also told her that he saw on the status screen that the man who talked to Balirasa was called Demon Lord. Balirasa immediately trembled with fear, not believing what had just happened to her. Riz then said the man's real name was Kal. Balirasa shook violently, realizing the person she had pointed her sword at was the Demon Lord. Of course, she was scared of the consequences she might face. Then, the next day, the Demon Lord actually came to the house. He was welcomed by Riz and Fleo. They invited the Demon Lord Kal to come inside. Gol was a little impressed with Fleo because he looked so calm even though he was facing the Demon Lord. As they walked in, Balirasa accidentally ran into Kal. She could only stand frozen while Kal smiled at her. Tea was served on the guest table. With a terrifying aura, Kal thanked Fleo for previously entertaining his subordinate, Uliminas. Balirasa also sat with them, right next to Kal. Balirasa herself was confused about why she had to sit there. She trembled so much that she couldn't move. Riz thought that Kal wanted revenge, but unexpectedly, he came to offer Fleo to join the Demon Lord's army. Gol's face looked very serious, but Fleo responded quickly, saying that he declined the offer. Gol did not expect Fleo to reject it outright. He knew that Fleo had also rejected an offer from the Clyrode Kingdom and chose to live in such a remote place. Fleo replied that he did not agree with the idea that humans should side with humans. Moreover, Fleo was not a human from that world. He didn't even know the reason why they were fighting each other. Gol explained that until now, no one knew for sure why they were at war. The war between humans and demons began when the first Demon Lord, Gennari, came 500 years ago. The first Demon Lord was an outsider who wanted to conquer that world. Those who accepted him were the demons who were oppressed by humans. Then a war broke out between the demons who obeyed the outsider and the humans who opposed him. The longer the war went on, the more sins accumulated, making it difficult to stop. Fleo then asked if Kal wanted to stop the war. Gol replied that after 12 generations, his ideology had changed. Gol, who is now the demon lord, has no desire to conquer the world. While releasing a terrifying aura, Gol also explained that as the demon lord, he would do everything he could. He did not want his people to fall into the hands of humans. Gol then again asked Fleo to join the demon lord's army. Calmly, Fleo replied that he did not intend to side with either humans or demons. Gol then smiled and laughed, the terrifying aura gradually disappearing. He admired Fleo's strong determination. Gol thought that with the same determination, Fleo also rejected the king's offer. Gol then stood up from his seat and said he had not given up. He said he would come there again. As he turned to leave, Gol was very impressed with Fleo and also Balirasa. They were humans who could withstand his aura, their expressions not changing at all. It seemed Gol also had an interest in Balirasa. After Gol left, Balirasa was still sitting there, and after her friends checked on her, it turned out she was still sitting rigidly, muttering why she had to experience that. The next day arrived, and Balirasa woke up in the morning. She went straight to sleep after yesterday's events. Balirasa then went to the main room. Blossom and her friends were peeking at something from behind the door. Balirasa, still sleepy, entered the room and was shocked when Gol greeted her directly. It turned out he had been there all along and was now enjoying breakfast made by rice. Balirasa couldn't do anything. Gol even invited her to eat with him, but Balirasa quickly ran off, saying she wanted to change clothes. Later on, Balirasa wanted to leave the house. She had peeked outside and didn't see Gol there, but it turned out Gol was behind the door. Gol greeted Balirasa and said he wanted to talk to her. Balirasa was very surprised and immediately ran away, saying she was going to practice swordsmanship. Several times, Gol approached Balirasa, whether she was waking up or working in the garden. Balirasa always had a reason to run away from Gol. Gol thought Balirasa was a hardworking woman who was always busy. Unbeknownst to them, a royal soldier had been spying on Fleo's house. He saw that demons kept coming to the place. The soldier reported this to the kingdom. Hearing the news, the king became very angry because Fleo had ignored his orders and now seemed to be siding with the demon lord's army. The king intended to send troops there, but was immediately stopped by Elizabeth, the king's first daughter. She argued that it was not certain that Fleo was conspiring with the demon lord's army. She suggested that the king talk to Fleo properly first, rather than just ordering him to come. She believed the king should also listen to Fleo's opinion. The king disagreed with the suggestion. Moreover, the hero also came and suggested that he be given troops. He had an idea to approach Fleo with the troops to make him comply. Meanwhile, at the demon lord's castle, Gol planned to go to Fleo's house. Alimenes, who was there, felt it would be dangerous for Gol to keep going alone. According to Gol, Fleo was much better and more understanding than the Clyro king, who seemed not to have ears to listen. So, as long as it was possible, Gol would continue trying to win him over. Then Gol flew out of his castle. At home, Fleo was sitting quietly, thinking about selling the equipment he had made from dragon scales in the city. Fleo wanted his business to succeed for his and Rice's livelihood. Rice then asked Fleo if accepting the kingdom's offer might give him a bigger payment than his current earnings. Fleo now understood that he had great power, and he wanted to avoid conflicts with others as much as possible. Riz smiled, admiring Fleo's kind nature. Suddenly, someone knocked on their door. When they went outside, the hero and his large army were already in front of the house. The hero, threateningly, gave Fleo a choice: to become his subordinate and defeat the demon lord's army, or to be a spy for the demon lord's army, and the hero would kill Fleo right then. The hero felt very cool doing this. He had imagined himself becoming a legend in that world and defeating the demon lord if he had a subordinate like Fleo. But calmly, Fleo said that he did not choose either option. Fleo had no intention of siding with the hero or the demon lord's army. The hero then raised his sword, concluding that Fleo had chosen to be a rebel against the country. Balirasa and her friends tried to defend Fleo, telling the hero to listen to him. However, the hero instead threatened to arrest them for rebellion. Fleo then bowed his head, saying that there was no other choice. He did not want to choose the options offered by the hero, and he did not want any conflict. So he decided to move to another place. Reese, Balirasa, and her friends also agreed with this and wanted to move with Fleo. Finally, Fleo activated the teleportation magic. A large magic circle appeared, covering them. The hero was astonished to see Fleo using magic that even he could not perform. The teleportation magic was activated, making all the troops surrounding Fleo and his friends feel very amazed. Because the teleportation magic Fleo had just activated not only moved Fleo and his friends, but also their house and farm. Soon after, Cole arrived at the place. One of the soldiers said that Cole was a demon who had conspired with Fleo. The hero panicked and immediately ordered the troops there to capture him. Cole saw that Fleo's house was no longer there, which made him angry, and he blamed the hero and his troops for causing it to happen. Furious, Cole released his aura and said that he would teach them a lesson. At that moment, Cole ordered his troops to get ready and launch a massive attack on the Clyrode Kingdom. Alumina's and the Demon Lord's troops at the castle heard the order. The sky immediately turned dark, and the Demon Lord's troops were flying in the sky, heading towards the Clyrode Kingdom. Elsewhere, Fleo successfully placed his house and farm in an empty spot with teleportation magic. Fleo said that the location was near a town called Hoto, which was west of the capital. The location was quite far from the capital. Balari said that in the new place, not only the hero but even the Demon Lord would have difficulty finding them. Balarasa felt very relieved because she knew that the Demon Lord had an interest in her. They looked very happy in the new place.